Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. My name is Ginger Pierce, and I'm one of the travel agents with Marvelous Mouse Travels. MMT is the agency that runs this Facebook group, and we also have several others that are dedicated to different destinations. We were also voted as best of the best with Sandals and Beaches Resorts. Welcome to Sundays with MMT. This is a weekly live agent panel video series that we do in one of our Facebook groups every Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. And we're really excited tonight to get to talk to you about the best sandals resorts for a honeymoon. So, we have a lot of information that we're going to share with you, but we also want to save some time at the end of the video to take any questions that people may have as they're watching. So, if at any point you do have a question, go ahead and drop that into the comments and we will get to those at the end of the video. And also just know that we are using a program called StreamYard to go live. And StreamYard may ask you if you want to post a question or comment to approve it to display your profile name and picture. Just know that you don't have to do that. You can decline that permission, and you can still post your question or comment anonymously, and we'll still be able to interact with you. I'm joined tonight by three awesome MMT agents. Ladies, thank you so much for being here tonight. And if you would please just take a minute to introduce yourselves, tell everybody how long you've been with the agency and what's the best way for them to get in touch with you if they are interested in planning a honeymoon.
Hey everyone, I'm Donna Balearis. I actually go by Donna Marie on my Facebook page. So you can email me at donnamarie@marvelousmousetravels.com or my Facebook page, Marvelous Travels by Donna Marie. I'm an agent with Marvelous Mouse Travels, and I've been with the agency for over 4 years now and love booking sandals.
Hey, I'm Brittany DeMezier. I've been with the agency for 4 years. I'm based in Iowa, and my Facebook page is facebook.com/travelsbybrittany.
Hey everybody, I am Katie Taylor, and I have been with the agency for a little over 5 years, and I love booking sandals. And if you need to get in touch with me, you can also get in touch with me at facebook.com/traveling with Katie T, and I'd be happy to help you.
And again, I'm Ginger Pierce. I am a master planner with the agency. I've been with MMT for almost 3 years. I'm coming up on my 3-year anniversary really soon. And the easiest way to get in touch with me is my blog, which is gingermmt.com. So, ladies, there are so many different potential destinations for a honeymoon, but I know for a lot of honeymooners, that all-inclusive resort is really a perfect choice because it is all-inclusive. You know, it includes your food and your beverages and your accommodations, and you can bundle your flights into the package. Like, you can really just get that everything paid for in advance. Don't have to worry about anything once you get there, which is kind of what you want for a honeymoon. And so, because there are so many different all-inclusive brands that are out there, in your opinion, why choose a sandals resort over maybe some of those other all-inclusive brands?
I'd say just the inclusions that Sandals puts in really puts them over the top. I mean, they think of everything from beyond just your food and beverage that you can expect at a lot of all-inclusives. They include things like scuba diving, tipping, transfers. So you don't really have to worry about anything once you get to the resort. I mean, all your tips are taken care of, so it's pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I also think with the Sandals brand, the level of service that you get, it just is far superior to some of the other brands out there. They have the 5-star global gourmet program. The food is just amazing at all, the different locations. I love the variety of the restaurants. And like I said, the quality of what you get is very different than some of the other typical all-inclusive, where you'll get kind of that buffet. The food here is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I absolutely love about Sandals resorts are the attention to detail that they have in the rooms to really make it romantic and just exclusive. Like you just feel like it's just you and your significant other there on your honeymoon. So I love the tranquility tubs that they have, and all of the other things that they just kind of, I don't know, there's just something about the room layout and everything that they add to it to really make it romantic, and the colors and the everything. I love the whole ambiance of the rooms.
Mhm. Yeah, I totally agree with everything that you guys have said. And, one of the things that I love about the Sandals resorts is that they each kind of have their own personality. And so finding the one that is perfect for you as a couple and kind of what you want out of your honeymoon, I think this is one example of how you can benefit by working with a travel agent to plan your honeymoon, because a travel agent who specializes in Sandals resorts is going to know, well, this, if you want tranquil, if you want active, if you're, depending on what you're looking for, they're going to be able to kind of match you with that perfect fit for your potential vacation. And so let's talk about, maybe for those people who are interested in a lot of activities or who want some nightlife, what would be the best resort for honeymooners who are looking for that kind of more active resort?
Well, I think it depends on what you mean by active, because some of the resorts have a lot of water sports, but if you're not into the water sports, you might not want to do that. So you may want to go somewhere else that's maybe does have a lot more, it's a little more laid back, but it has a lot of nightlife. Like you said, different Sandals have different things. So if you're looking for a lot of nightlife and a lot of fun and a lot of energetic people and lots of um, I guess energetic people is the best word to use for that, but it's Sandals Ochi, I think, because they have the rabbit hole, which is the Caribbean's only speakeasy, so and complete with password and
Mhm.
everything. I just think that is just the coolest thing ever. So it again, if you want to do a lot of water sports, then I would highly recommend going to Negril, because Negril on that side has all the great scuba diving sites and all the great snorkeling and all of that kind of stuff. So I think
Mhm.
it just depends on which resort would be good for whichever couple, whatever the couple likes.
Mhm. And that beach in Negril is gorgeous too. So if
It
you're
is
looking for a
beautiful.
great beach, that would also be an awesome one.
And just to add a little bit to that, with the I mean, we were just in Barbados last year, Sandals Royal Barbados, and that's a great one also for nightlife and activity. They've got the Lovers Lane bowling alley. That was a great place to hang out at night, and there were some games that you could play in there. They had karaoke, so there was always something going on each night. So if it's more of like an entertainment factor, and then it is one of the newer properties, so it does have that beautiful wow factor as well.
Mhm.
And then it's the two resorts in one. So.
Mhm.
I know I've sent a lot of honeymooners to Ochi if they're looking for kind of that upbeat vibe, but it's also 90 minutes from the airport, so some people don't like to take that transfer all the way over to Ochi. So if they're still looking for kind of that upbeat, younger type vibe, Montego Bay is really a great option too, and it's just 5 minutes from the airport. Like you can see the planes taking off from the resort, so it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, definitely. So what about honeymooners who are interested in like the exact opposite of that kind of active, lots of activity? What about the people who just want to go and have that tranquil, relaxing experience? What do you think would be the best resort for them?
I was going to say, I think Emerald Bay would be one of the top ones. That just
Mhm.
has that really relaxing vibe, and the most beautiful water out of all of the resorts. But as far as relaxation, Emerald Bay is a great option. It's the kind of beach that you just want to, sit on the beach, stare at the ocean, read a book, take it easy. Yeah, so
I'd say Halcyon in St. Lucia. It's really kind of just very intimate. It's a nice beach resort. There's tons of pools. You've got the longest meandering pool in the Caribbean is at that resort. So if you really want lazy river, that's the place to be.
Mhm.
I agree with Halcyon Beach. I think that one is probably is one of the best ones for tranquil experiences. Um, I also think South Coast
Mhm.
in Jamaica is another option, just because of that huge beach that they have there, and it is just a gorgeous beach there. And so those would be my two that I would choose.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. Isn't Royal Caribbean also where they have the private island? Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes.
talk
Hmm.
about secluded and tranquil and private. That would be pretty awesome too.
Yeah, I think I've
So,
sent
oh, go
more
ahead.
honeymooners to Royal Caribbean than any
Mhm.
other place just based on that private island and being able to get away but still be close to everything else.
Yeah, definitely.
And to go on that with Royal Caribbean and what you were saying about how it's more of a tranquil, relaxing, you can also, that particular resort can go back and forth with Montego Bay. So if you have a couple that's, they want the relaxation, but they also want to do some nightlife, maybe 1 or 2 nights, then they can go over to Montego Bay and check it out and have that and have the best of both worlds, really. So
Absolutely.
that's a great option for either or. You may have some really active people that just want to get away and chill out on the beach. Well, they could go over to the private island over there at
Mhm.
Royal Caribbean. So
Mhm. And I love the fact that they have those privileges where you can go back and forth. And several, there's several sandals properties that do that. And I think that it's great to give you the opportunity not only to experience a little bit different vibe, but maybe even to check out, the resorts for maybe your next trip, because there is a really great promotion that Sandals does where if you're traveling, during your anniversary, if you stay a certain number of nights, you can actually get a night free. And so that's, something that's really makes it a little bit more doable to go back to Sandals for your anniversary. And why not stay somewhere where you do get to kind of check out some of the others and decide where you might want to spend that time. So what about honeymooners who are looking for or who are on a budget, who really, have want to kind of keep things at a lower price point? I think many times people feel like sandals might be out of reach for them if they're on a budget. So where would you send a couple who's trying to keep their costs as minimal as possible?
yeah.
I think
Well,
Ochi
the
is probably a really great option for kind of an entry level if you've never done sandals, but you kind of want to see what it's about. It's also
Mhm.
the largest sandals, so it really gives you a taste of some of the things that sandals has to offer. So you can even get a Butler level service for a pretty affordable price at that resort.
Yeah. I agree. And also too, when you keep in mind the fact that Sandals does include things like gratuity in the cost of your stay, that really does, like when you're comparing apples to apples with some of these other brands, it's not that Sandals is truly that much more expensive. It's just that it's including more in the price. But you're going to pay things like gratuity at some of these other places
Mhm.
as well. And so, in some ways it does kind of even out. But I agree too. I would probably steer people in the direction of Ochi if they're trying to keep that budget down. Now, speaking of budgeting, not many people realize that Sandals does offer a free wedding if you stay for 3 nights or longer. And so, if you're interested in a wedding moon, which would be a combination of a destination wedding, like this is what you see here, or and also having your honeymoon as part of that, which Sandals resorts would you ladies say is best for this wedding moon? Has that beautiful ceremony location, but is also great for a honeymoon.
Oh, there's quite a few. I would
I
definitely
know.
go with one with the over the water chapel, though. Those are beautiful.
Mhm.
When
Mhm.
we stayed at South Coast, we were able to see a bunch of weddings there, and they were absolutely gorgeous. And the setting and the sunsets at South Coast are unbelievable. So if you get that, kind of that sunset time as well with the sun setting in the background and the overwater chapel, that one I was very impressed with that. And if I had to do a wedding moon, I'd probably choose that one or at least one with the over the water chapel.
Mhm.
And I really like the above rooftop pool at
Mhm.
Royal Barbados. That whole setup is just so beautiful with the water in the background and having the gazebo, and it's just very open, and you can that just to me that is just a beautiful, beautiful spot too. So I love Barbados too because you can go to both places. You can go to Sandals Barbados or you can go to Royal Barbados, and basically you can walk in between and use dine at both places and use all the different facilities and everything. So that's a great option for me. Would be a
Mhm.
great option for me.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I think going back to what you were saying before, Kate, about just matching that resort to your couple's personality. So if you're not comfortable with the kind of the vibe that the certain resort is giving you, then maybe that's not the best pick for you. It might be beautiful, but if you just don't feel comfortable there, it might not be the best pick. But I know like Sandals, Ochi, or even the Grill have the beaches also there. So I really wanted to kind of have your own kind of feel while you have your guests at the other beaches resort. You could have your wedding at beaches and then stay at Sandals and kind of way that way.
Yeah, and kind of keep everybody separate from you while you're on your honeymoon.
Yeah.
And definitely too,
Yes.
you can keep in mind too the fact that you can earn certain upgrades or additional perks and things like that depending on how many people book and stay for your wedding. And so, it's definitely encourage people to come and book so that you can hopefully get some of those additional things included in your wedding moon as well. So you guys mentioned Butler Service earlier. Is Butler Service, first of all, let's explain to people what Butler Service is. And then let's answer the question, is Butler Service worth the splurge for your honeymoon?
Yes, absolutely. So here's why I always recommend for my honeymooners to get the Butler Service. You're doing so much work leading up to your wedding. I mean, it's what sometimes it could be 2 years of planning, right? And especially right as you're getting down to the wire, that's when it just gets the most chaotic, and you're just spread thin. The bride is usually getting more frazzled and stressed, and trying to get everything to happen and be as planned. So when you get on your honeymoon, you don't want to have to think about anything. So once you get there, your butlers take over. You don't have to worry about anything. They'll set up your dinner reservations. They'll make sure you have a spot by the beach to lay at. They'll bring you all your favorite drinks, your meals while you're sitting on your lounge chair, and you get to actually like decompress and enjoy and be with your husband, and enjoy that stuff, and you're done. Like, you don't have to worry about stressing about anything. So to me, I think that's why a butler, I mean, I think it's totally worth it, especially on a honeymoon.
I agree 100%.
Yeah. And also too, your butler, they're trained to know how to obviously serve you, but also how to not be, because I know privacy is obviously something that you want on your honeymoon. And so these butlers are top notch. Like, they know how to be there for you, but not be there for you too much. Like give you
Right.
your privacy too. They're absolute masters at that. And so, yeah, I definitely would not hesitate to splurge for that butler service on a honeymoon in particular. And also too, especially, even if you are kind of wanting to keep that budget down, look at Sandals Ochi, because Brittany, I think it was you that mentioned earlier that you can actually even get that butler level service at Ochi for still a pretty affordable price. And so that's definitely something to consider. So anything that you guys want to add about like advice or maybe why booking a honeymoon with a travel agent is a good idea for brides and grooms?
I think now
Well,
more
one,
than ever, with everything that's going on, you want to have an advocate in your corner with your honeymoon. I know just even in the last couple months, I've had honeymooners take trips down to the Caribbean, and with everything changing and regulations that may change overnight or in the state that they're traveling, you just want to have that kind of advocate for you so that you don't have to worry about scrambling at the last minute or making sure that everything's set and situated. So because we work with these vendors on a regular basis, we've got relationships with them. They obviously know us and we know them, so it's a lot easier for us to get in contact with the resort or with a booking agent or than it might be for you to do that. And then you're spending time away on your honeymoon or beforehand on hold, and that's not fun either.
Definitely not.
I was going to say, going back to my point too, is you've got so much other stuff going on with the wedding planning and coordinating all of that. Let us do all of the honeymoon planning and making sure that everything's in order. Again, to Brittany's point, making sure you've got all the correct documents and pre-travel stuff arranged. If you're traveling during COVID, where it needs COVID testing, or just anything just to be aware of when you're traveling in each of these islands.
Mm-hmm.
Let us take care of that for you.
All right. Awesome. Thank you, ladies, for sharing all of that information with us. I'm looking over here. I'm not seeing any questions coming through at the moment. But just know that even if you're not watching this live, because this video will live in this group forever. And I definitely will get back into the group and we'll reshare it just to kind of bump it to the top if people missed it live. But just know that even if you have a question after it has gone live or it's not gone live anymore, we can still come back and answer that question for you. Oh, I just saw one pop up here about a second ago. Which resort is best for water sports and scuba diving, and do they do certification? That's an excellent question. What do you guys think?
Well, they definitely will do a certification for you. It is an added cost. However, sometimes Sandals does have promotions. And I know we haven't really talked about that, but Sandals does sometimes put out some really good promotions, like with spa credits and tour credits and things like that. So, and sometimes that I have seen that they will do the scuba certification as well. But they have a special pool that they will do the scuba diving and train this for you to be able to do a shallow dive. It is not a deep dive; it's a very shallow dive. But as far as for the best for water sports, I think Negril has the most choices for water sports. I've had several clients go to St. Lucia and stay at both the Grand and at Latac, and both of them have said that there's great scuba diving there as well. They just and you can go to any of those as well. I don't think right now that they're actually doing that in St. Lucia, where you can go to the different resorts, but I think Latac has the least amount of water sports, if I'm not mistaken. But the scuba diving is really good from everybody that I've sent that likes to scuba dive.
Mm-hmm. Awesome question. All right. Well, I'll keep my eyes peeled to see if we have any other last minute ones popped up. That also, just a reminder, even if you're not watching us live, you can still drop those questions in the comments and we can get to those after the fact. But thank you so much for joining us tonight for Sundays with MMT. We had a lot of fun chatting about Sandals Resorts. Definitely all of these ladies that you heard from tonight love to book Sandals and to work with Sandals and have a great knowledge base, as you can tell, of the different Sandals resorts. So they would definitely be a great person to have in your corner if you are planning that honeymoon. And another thing that we didn't mention, but that I think is a really important point, is that booking through a travel agent is the exact same price as if you were to go on Sandals website and to book that honeymoon yourself. But you're just benefiting from this knowledge, this expertise, and these free services. You know, someone who's really going to be in your corner and make sure that they are protecting your investment and also helping you make the right choices as to where it's going to be your dream honeymoon locale. So we will be back live again next Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern in our Universal Orlando group. We're actually going to be doing an overview of the preferred and prime value on-site resort hotels at Universal Orlando. And then on April 11th, we will be in our Walt Disney World group giving an overview of the moderate resorts on site. So if you're thinking of a theme park vacation to Orlando, we would love if you would join those groups and join us for those sessions as well. But thank you again for joining us tonight, and we hope to see you again soon for another episode of Sundays with MMT. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.